Hi everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Ultimate Edition Blind, myself, Berex. So last time we finished the Dalish Elf sort of chapter, if you like. We travelled to Brazilian Forest to track down the elusive Dalish Elf clans. We helped cure the elves of a powerful werewolf curse, and they have pledged themselves to my cause, our cause, and will join us in battle against the Blight. So let's go ahead and load that one up. Now, I can't help but feel that we're sort of like vaguely approaching the end game here. I'm not saying that the game is almost over. That's not what I mean by end game, but sort of like the equivalent of like in Baldur's Gate 2, if you've done all the other quests heading into the Underdark after John Irenicus. Spoiler warning. That sort of like thing. If you're just gonna do the main quest from then, sort of thing, or like in Baldur's Gate 1, maybe possibly get into Baldur's Gate after you've done everything else. So we're in the last sort of like stages of the game, but there's still, I understand, you know, more to do and stuff. I'm also figuring that because if we look into our, God, okay, so look how I do this. Our codexes, we can see that, you know, they're getting quite full up now, full of stuff. So there's not that much more in the game to see, you know. So I'm just thinking that, yeah, we're sort of like getting there. So in light of that, there's a few loose ends I want to sort of like tie up, if you like. I'm not going to go back to Ozma, as I've said before, for that dwarf quest, but more sort of like character-based stuff. I'm sure that when I leave here, we'll get a cutscene to advance the main quest, to push me on to do that. But what I would like to do, honestly, is head back to Soldier's Peak. Apparently I missed some stuff there. It's kind of out of character because it means going up there, and then down here, and then probably I'm reckoning up here again. But I got to go to the party camp quite a lot, you know, and see what Alistair feels about his meeting his sister, about Leliana and other things. I'm sure there are, and maybe even Zevran as well. I gave him those gloves and he was quite impressed with that, even though I was just cleaning my inventory out. So I am going to be, in fact I might as well just go here now, and I'm pretty sure we're going to hit a cutscene. Pretty sure the way the game's being paced, it's going to happen, but I just want to clear some stuff up. Okay, no, fair enough. I was wrong. Alright, so we're here in the party camp. Let's talk to everybody to make sure everybody's fine and dandy. We'll start with Shale, she's closest.
It speaks.
Alright, questions.
It doesn't have better things to do.
Okay, you're fine. So that's
On then.
probably pretty much the last we'll speak to you.
What do you wish of me?
Okay, something...
If you must.
Okay, I don't want to be a sharp changer, but maybe something personal?
What do you wish of me?
The frame rate is terrible. I'm sure you've noticed. I mean, it's showing 60 right now. I know it's down to 25. What the hell is going on? Hopefully it'll pass. We're just in the party camp anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. Okay, something personal?
We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Okay. So you have nothing to say, which I wasn't surprised about. That's why I did those two first. And there's also an elf over there now, so we'll see what he wants. I don't think I sold gems and stuff, did I? I was a good boy and left all the gems here. Now I can also give some of this away now that we're in the party camp. It'll make more sense to do so. Hello.
Something on your mind?
Well, another dream about the... Did I? Oh, must have been from a while ago, but I tell you... Yeah, okay, we'll talk about that, because maybe I just had it.
Yes, me too. And I got the feeling at the end there that it saw us, was
I'm
aware
sure
of
I've
us,
seen this
whatever you want
before.
to call it. Could have just been my imagination, I suppose. What do you think?
I think we need to be extra careful from now on. Yes. The large demon needs to die. Quickly, that's true, but yeah, let's be careful.
I thought we were already being extra careful. Does that mean we have to be extra careful now? Great. And there I was enjoying my nap. I guess one thing is certain at least, isn't it? It's official. This is a blight.
Yes. At this stage in the game, we really should have established that already.
Something on your mind? Of course.
Alright, I am going to ask about these because they're still there, and I thought they might go away after a while. This is like really late in the day, obviously. I've been a Grey Warden for a couple of months now, and so it's kind of a bit daft me asking about what changes about you after joining. But you know, I'll ask them anyway because they're here, and maybe clearing these up will lead to some more questions.
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
I'm sure I've seen this before. Yeah, what changes physically?
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
Wouldn't tell you?
Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
I haven't felt anything like that, that's true.
Really? I saw you eating dinner the other day. Savage. Ah yes, the classy camaraderie of two men travelling out in the open. I take it you were like this before the joining then. Oh, and then there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
Strange dreams, I guess. Yeah.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
What do you mean?
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live, give or take. The taint, it's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
So I'm gonna die, huh? 30 years. Now, is that 30 years from the time you drink? Or just 30 years, like... Well, it must be, because some people must drink the blood, like, after they're 30. Even though 30 might be quite old in this sort of... you know, if it's sort of middle-agey sort of thing, then, you know, 40 would be old. So, but even so, I think 30 means that you've got 30 years till after you drink it, you know. Otherwise it doesn't make any sense.
We're all going to die. When Duncan told me, I was angry. He put his hand on my shoulder and said this. It's not how you die that's important. It's how you live. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. And there you have it.
A little bit of, a little bit of small print, you gotta say. I'm sure Varag's planned to live a very long and fruitful life after this was over. 30 years is still a long time, you gotta say. 30 years? If I'm 20 now, that's still 50, which again, in this sort of era, I'm guessing is quite old anyway. I don't know. Still, yeah, it does seem like a pretty high price to pay.
I suppose it is. We're the only ones who can stop the blight, however. Is there a price too high to pay for that? You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
He got what he deserved. Well, that's harsh. Although then again, 30 years might be, after you turn 30, your body starts slowing down, and so your body can't resist the taint as much, and so that's when you start, It's hard to tell, like, how old people are. Because I think Duncan was older than 30. You said 30 years, so, I don't know whether it's like when you turn 30 it starts happening, or 30 years after you. I don't know. It's difficult. Yes, he'll be remembered.
I know. Ending the Blight should make this all worthwhile, right?
Right, okay, so he approves of that conversation, which we should have had a very long time ago, I admit.
Something on your mind? Of course.
Okay, no... Yeah, okay, well, this is more like just speaking naturally. What was it like to be a Grey Warden with all the others?
I didn't know them for very long. But I guess it was longer than you. You never met them all, did you? They were quite a group. Actually, they felt like an extended family, since we were all cut off from our former lives. We also laughed more than you'd think. There was this one time... Well, you probably don't want to hear stories about men you didn't know.
Now go on then. Story.
There was one Grey Warden who came all the way from the Anderfells. What was his name? Gregor... He was a burly man with the biggest, fuzziest beard you've ever seen. And the man could drink. He drank all the time, but he never got drunk. Finally, we all made a pool to see just how many pints it would take to put him under the table.
No. Certainly not. Sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Sometimes. We were kin of a sort. All of us had gone through the joining, so we knew... Well, anyhow, it doesn't have to be deadly serious all the time. Anyhow, we never did find out. He said he'd drink a pint for every half pint that the rest of us drank. He was still going by the time the rest of us were passed out. I'm told that Duncan walked in later on and saw us all passed out from one end of the hall to the other, and Gregor still drinking. Duncan laughed until he nearly... Until...
Oh dear. Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Yes, I suppose so. I thought I was done with this, but it just struck me that I have nothing to remember Duncan by. Nothing at all. There's no body, not even a token of his that I could take with me. That must sound really stupid to you.
Not at all.
I just would have liked something of his to take with me, that's all. Well, there's no use in moaning about it, is there? He's gone. Let's just go.
Well, I do believe... Ah, good. Well, that actually helped, because now he's got some extra stuff in Constitution. That's sweet. We've got a sword, haven't we? And I think now is an excellent time to give him a sword. I don't have it on me, do I? It's back at Soldier's Peak. But when I get there, you shall now have his sword, I believe. More talking with Alistair? A little bit more.
I'm wondering something. I'd like to know your thoughts about some of our traveling companions. Do you mind if I ask?
No.
How about Ogren? You must have an opinion on the smell, at the very least.
No opinion. Next. I do like him. Mind you, I think Varric sort of likes everybody in their own way. He's come to accept people for a little more accepting and open-minded than he was when he first left the Circle Tower. Possibly, like, if he'd have met Sten, sort of like now, or roundabout now, he may have given him more leeway, because, like, he's a little more open-minded now, I think, in sort of how he does things. More or less. Especially when it comes to people, anyway. He's learned a lot, I feel. But I like him.
I would too if he could stick to the ribald stories and not so much with the belching and projectile vomiting. How he lifts his sword is a bit of a mystery. Though I suppose the point is that he does lift it. And so long as we can point him in the right direction, he charges too. He has gusto, I'll give him that. Zevran, the elf. You can't trust him, can you? Do you believe his so-called vow?
You know what? I do. He has proved, he could have left at any time. He could have stabbed me at any time, because of course when we first met him he was sent to kill us, and then he failed, obviously, and pleaded for his life and vowed to help us. And you know what? We gave him the benefit of the doubt, because I didn't want to kill him. Equally, I didn't want to let him go because I wanted to keep sort of an eye on him and stuff. So I kept him around, kept him in the party camp. Didn't use him very much in quests, sort of like, no, you stay here. But we have utilised him with the elves and other places. And he's been a stalwart companion. And he has proved his worth. So you know what? I'm going to say I do trust him.
Really? Why? That's a lot of trust to put in someone who tried to kill you.
I don't think I'll try again. If he tries anything, he'll die. I want to give him the chance. He's very useful. I'm willing to give him the chance. I am. He is.
Well, if you are, then maybe I should too. But that doesn't mean I won't keep an eye on him. He's just too shifty.
He's an elf. Of
What
course
about
he's shifty.
Leliana? Is she crazy? Or do you really believe in her vision?
Man. You know what? That's a tricky one. I believe she believes in her vision is a very political answer. It could be true. Who's to say it isn't? I'm going to say that one, though.
Maybe you're right. It's not as if she could have known that we needed help so desperately after all. Yet, there she was. I don't know what to make of her. If you look at her when she doesn't see you, she just looks so sad. I almost feel guilty taking her away from her life.
It was her choice.
Yes, I know. Still, I feel badly for her. Morrigan, do you trust her? Think about it. Maybe Flemeth sent her with us for some other reason than she said.
Maybe, but I guess we have this conversation a little bit late in the game because Flemeth is now dead. You really don't like each other, do you? That's
Well,
true.
aside from the fact that she's a complete and utter bitch, no, I don't like her at all. Why, do you?
She is a bitch. Yeah, but again, you know, it's something about that sort of feistiness that perhaps appeals. Although he is far too intimidated to engage in romantical sort of like engagements with her. I think Morrigan's a little bit too scary. Plus the fact that she can turn into a spider at will. Just imagine if you annoy her. But yeah, I guess I like her just fine.
Great. I am thrilled beyond words. No, really. Enough. I think my curiosity is sated. Let's get back to it, shall we?
Well, that was interesting. I'm glad that we did that. Alright, let's speak to Zevran now. Again, crappy frame rate. Once we stop talking to people and actually move on, I will probably stop the recording and see what is causing that. Something in the background, maybe. But yeah.
Here I am.
There you are. Can you teach others to be an assassin?
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't yet want the crows to actively hunt me, you see. Maybe later.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Okay. Normal questions?
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
What's your opinion on the Dalish? There we go, this is relevant.
I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book.
That's horrible. So you're an assassin, the son of... Ah, it's not nice. No, that's... Yeah.
Is it? It seemed normal enough a tale growing up. No different than the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were.
Grisly.
We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear.
He's had a hard life, hasn't he? What does this have to do with the Dalish? No, okay, I mean, he's obviously gone on This is more important than what he thinks of the Dalish. And yet you're oddly cheerful about it. Yeah.
It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows?
No.
Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all.
Yeah, I think I have had a better time of it than you, to be honest.
Are we so different, you and I? Buffeted by the winds of fate, brought to this point by both circumstance and excellence.
Well, you're right. Do I not believe in fate? I guess he does have a vague point.
Oh, you are too kind.
You're welcome.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
But I gave you the other ones. I was just emptying my inventory, but you seem very pleased with them. Has there been no joy in your life at all? Oh. You don't see... Yeah, okay, this one.
Oh, there has been plenty. To tell the truth, it is because I expected nothing more. Still, even I eventually thought that it would be better for me if I ran off to join the famous Dalish when one of their clans drew near Antiva city. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
Alright, so now... he disapproves because it's bad juju. So we're not really getting very far in Zevran in terms of his disposition, but we are very different people. So sometimes you just not, you sort of like... tolerance is the wrong word, but you get along with someone alright, you sort of like respect them as a person, but you never really click because you're just too different, and I think that's the case between these two.
Here I am.
Something personal
Again?
like that
Again.
wasn't, Oh no. Because I think that was pretty personal.
Here I am.
That last conversation.
Oh, this should be good. Go ahead.
No, okay, fine. He's not ready. Because I gave him those other gloves. But if I'd given those gloves after that conversation... Wow, the flame rate is awful. Then, maybe I'd have got something different there. Maybe I'm still waiting for something different to happen.
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died. And this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free.
That is comforting. I for one am no hurry to let my spirit fly free. I guess just after hearing about death, I really, that I'm going to die in 30 years, or by the time I'm 31 or other, I don't really want to, that's still quite prominent in my mind. So I don't really want my spirit to fly free just yet.
It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving.
Right then. Wow, I did not expect that. Probably a lot more poignant if the game wasn't juttering around all over the bloody place, and it seems to have stopped now. Marvellous. Yeah, fantastic. Interesting how, like, the voice that you hear, like, in the main theme and stuff, you know, in the menu, is Leliana. I'm not going to ask the cantankerous old question of where did the music come from, because I'm sure she was playing it. She is a bard after all. We gotta follow that up.
Do you remember our discussion?
Yes, I do.
I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. Despite what Marjolaine says, I am not like her. I know that now. I've found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves. I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you.
Yay! Look at that. Massive bonus to cunning for Leliana. Marvellous. Plus 13. Well, that's probably with all her other equipment as well. But yes. Oh look, did we just level up there? Oh no, it's because she hasn't been in our party and we've, yeah. We've, you know, leveled up why she hasn't been with us, because we had Zevran instead. This is really nice. You know, everyone's sort of like developing quite nicely with our nature. Especially, you know, Alistair and Leliana, who have been with us like the whole time. We've sort of like swapped other people out, but these two are like our best friends in the group. And of course, there's Wynne.
What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of my ability.
And sadly doesn't have anything to say, though I will take her with me when I leave the party camp, because apparently she has something to say. I was told by a viewer, sorry I don't know your name, I forget, that I should keep her, you know, when travelling, because she might have something else to interject, and, you know, as we just go into Soldier's Peak, you know, she might have something to pick up there, so...
Just leave me alone, Warden.
Oh, come on.
Seriously.
What's the matter?
Upset. Ugh. I don't get upset. I get drunk. Did you want to talk about something?
Yeah.
What about?
Let's talk about this warrior in Ozamar deal.
You get a sword or an axe, and are told to go out and defend your city. It's the best thing in the world. That is until you try to live in the city you saved.
What do you mean?
I mean, they train you to kill, teach you to harness your rage at the first noise you hear, then try to set 100 sodding rules about it. Like those provings. Ancestors show their favor through the strongest arm, right? So why so many rules saying how to fight, and when you win, and not to bloody kill? Killing's what swords are for.
Well, yeah, but you can't just kill half the population of your entire species, you idiot. Why don't they just give you... Why didn't they give you bloodied weapons? Yeah, that's an idea, I guess, although I suppose that's the test in itself.
You can kill with blunted weapons, Warden.
Huh.
Well, maybe you can't. This makes me cranky. Don't you have any other inane questions?
Yeah,
All
I was
right.
going to disapprove a little bit.
Aye, all right then.
I think... Oh no, he does approve a little bit. That's lovely. What's he on? Plus 21. Oh, that's quite more than I expected, really. Okay, we've got a couple little things before I forget. Firstly, Leliana. Hang on a minute. Yeah, okay. Got possibly some armor for you. Let's just have a look. Okay. So, the armor she's wearing is better. Plus 2 strength, plus 2 dexterity. I guess the bonuses are much better with the Shadow of the Empire. Well, sorry, with the Elven armor, but I'm going to stick with the Shadow of the Empire because of the armor bonus and much less fatigue. It's so much better, but I guess this is medium and that's light, so yeah, I'm going to keep this as it is. Critical plaque. Yeah, okay, we'll keep that as it is as well. I trust that... where are you? There you are. Yeah. That makes more sense, doesn't it? You can't wear that because you're not strong enough. 2 more, but yeah. Yeah. Oh well. Okay, let's talk to the dwarves and get rid of these